Hi there, I'm Alison Kurek, owner of Stitch Real Estate Transaction Coordination Company, and welcome to my channel. If you're enjoying this video or any of our other content, please hit that like and subscribe button. That way you don't miss out on anything else exciting that we have coming up. All right, I'm excited to talk about the topic of today's video, which is 5 types of leads to go after as a real estate transaction coordinator. I feel passionate about this topic because I get a lot of questions about, how to market yourself as a TC, how am I gonna get clients? If you're starting out independently or with a TC company where you need to be bringing in business, then this can be a concern for a lot of people when they're first starting out, is making that marketing plan, figuring out how they're gonna bring in the clients and the income. Now, I feel like this is a concern in any business, but I feel like it impacts TCs a lot because as transaction coordinators, we often don't want to be salespeople, right? Like we took this role because we don't want to be real estate agents on that constant grind and all that kind of stuff. And that is important that we focus on, even that we don't want to be constant marketers and salespeople, if we are working independently or owning our own business, that is a part of it. Marketing and lead generation and getting new clients is a part of it. So I have a video about how to market yourself as a TC. I'll link that one here. But today I want to go over really specifically 5 different types of leads you can go after as a transaction coordinator. I hope this will open your eyes up to maybe some potential new lead sources for you and help you with your marketing plan. All right, I'm going to talk about the 5 different leads from order of my opinion of the highest quality leads to the lowest quality leads. Now, I don't want to say lower quality leads are bad. I think there is a place in your marketing plan for all different types of these 5 leads, but maybe depending on what you're going to focus on or where you're going to start, maybe you want to start more at the beginning. A lower quality lead does not necessarily mean it's a bad agent. It just may be a harder sell on your part and maybe a little longer term to convert them. All right, let's dive in. Okay, so the first type of lead I want to talk about to go after as a real estate transaction coordinator is anyone in your SOI, your sphere of influence that is in the real estate realm. This will always be without a doubt your highest quality and most organic type of lead. This is because people in your sphere of influence know you, they trust you, they can vouch for you. And on that note, if you have experience in real estate or as a transaction coordinator, or even just other really great skills that you're bringing to the table, they know your past experience. They could say, oh, she's new at this, but she did XYZ for so many years. I'm so excited for her or him, whatever the case may be. So your sphere of influence is always where you want to start. However, specifically talking to TCs, this is different than a real estate agent. As a real estate agent, anyone in the world is your client. As a transaction coordinator, we are very specifically going after agents, brokerages, and teams that we can provide our services to. So reaching out to your neighbor who has no connection to the real estate industry, I guess it's good. Maybe they can tell their realtor friend that they know, but we want to focus on our sphere of influence, narrow down to people in the real estate realm or people who have previously been in the real estate realm, right? And potentially people who are going there in the future, maybe someone studying for their license or getting a new job at a title company or something like that. And on that note, I mentioned title company. I want you to make a list of your whole sphere of influence in the real estate realm. This is always what I tell people to do first when thinking of their marketing plan and how to get clients. And don't just think of agents, right? We want people who can potentially give us referrals. Is that title company, real estate attorneys? Is it inspectors? Is it potentially, an appraiser? Like we have anyone who is in that real estate realm, lenders. There's so many different options outside of just agents. It could even be people who work at the brokerage office. Maybe they work at the front desk. Maybe they work in accounting. Maybe they do marketing, sales reps, maybe a home warranty company. There's so many different aspects involved in real estate transactions. I keep thinking of them, maybe a sign company. So many options of people you can connect with and let them know about your services so that if they have a real estate agent friend or someone else in the industry bring it up to you, then they can say, oh yeah, so-and-so, I know them. They provide those services. So obviously agents is a great place to start, and we definitely want to be reaching out to all those agents that we have personal sphere of influence connections with, but also don't limit your list to agents. When we're looking for high quality leads, we're going to start with our sphere of influence and the agents in there, but then we're also going to think of anyone in the real estate realm that is our sphere of influence. This is going to be our first and most important high quality and organic lead. As I mentioned, these people know you, they know your background, they can vouch for you, and outside of being a direct lead like an agent might who already trusts you, third parties to the transaction like lenders and title companies who know you can vouch to their agent friends in a referral. So first type of lead is anyone in your sphere of influence, agents directly, and also referrals from other real estate service providers. All right, the second type of lead to go after as a real estate transaction coordinator is going to be referrals from your current clients. So in point number 1 for the first lead, we did talk about referrals from your sphere of influence, but in point number 2 of leads, I want to talk specifically about referrals from your current clients. The reason this is also a high quality and valuable lead is because your current clients could be spreading news to all their friends at their brokerage, friends at other brokerages that they know. And when they vouch for you, not only do they know you, even if they don't know you personally when you first start working together, they've gotten to know you and they've seen directly the impact of your services. So they can spread good word about you, good referral about you to these other people they know, and they can say, oh, they do XYZ for me, or it's been a game changer for my business. So someone who can actually say how you've impacted their business in a positive way and they've worked with you, that comes across as a really strong referral to a different agent. That agent is gonna think, oh wow, this person, potentially someone who's really successful or that agent looks up to, or is a friend of theirs. It's like, oh, they really enjoy working with this TC, maybe I should reach out to them. So the second type of lead to go after is always going to be asking your current clients for referrals. There are a couple different ways to do this. I'll see if I can make a specific video about that as well. But you can always ask in the middle of a transaction, at the end of a transaction. You could just find a time period, maybe at the end of the year, where you're asking for referrals. But always make sure your current clients know that you're taking on new clients if you are. Now, sometimes they might not want to share you, but I've had a good experience with letting people know I'm taking on referrals. And you can always say to a client, how can I help you in your business? And they might say, how can I help you in your business? And I've told clients before, we are taking on new clients. If you know anyone, just spreading the word or referral would be huge for us. So like I said, I'll try to make a specific video about how to ask the current clients for a referral, but that is lead number 2 that you should definitely be going after in your real estate transaction coordinator business. Okay, and are you ready for the third type of lead to go after as your real estate transaction coordinator marketing plan? So we've covered SOI, we've covered referrals from our current clients, and now I want to talk about the agents on the other side of the transaction. So for example, let's say we're working with a buyer client and our agent's representing the buyer. After closing, if we notice that the seller agent did not have a transaction coordinator working on the transaction, we can reach out to them. I like to do a simple marketing email letting them know about our services if they are interested or if they know anyone else who's interested. And the reason this is a good type of lead to go after is because this agent has just worked with you. They have seen directly the impact you can provide. I've noticed this on a lot of deals where it's like, oh, they already sent that document to the title company before I had time to. And an agent who hasn't used a transaction coordinator or isn't currently using one, they're really going to see that value there. So they have seen directly the value you can provide to them. Even though they're not working with you directly, by working on the other side of the transaction, they can often get to see glimpses of what we're doing, how we're doing it, and how that could help them. So this is a really good third type of lead to go after. It's kind of low-hanging fruit because you just worked with them. As long as they didn't have a transaction coordinator, I always send them a marketing email, but you could do any kind of marketing follow-up that you want to on this. But this is a really good way to expand your business and get the word out there. And it's important to reach out to them if you're interested in this method of lead generation, because even if they saw you working, they might not understand that you work with other agents or that you're taking on new clients. So definitely something we want to make them aware of. So that is the third type of lead to go after, is the agent on the other side of the deal. Okay, the fourth type of lead to go after in your transaction coordinator business is going to be people you meet at in-person events and marketing opportunities. So I toyed a little bit with where this should fall on the list, but I did ultimately put it here as second to last, just because if you don't know anyone at an in-person event, you don't have someone to vouch for you, then this person's just going off your first impression. So that can just be a little bit harder of a sell. However, I do think that if you choose the right networking events, that in-person meetings can be really impactful. As transaction coordinators, most of us work remotely, so getting out of the house is not part of our regular routine. And I always encourage people that if they want to do in-person marketing events, you want to go after these new leads to make sure the opportunity is going to have a high ROI. So for me personally, when I do go meet someone in person, I've almost always gotten the client or gone to an event, met someone who was a good contact for me, a good lead, and turned into a client down the line. But I really try to strategize on picking the right opportunities. Is there going to be multiple agents there? Maybe being part of a networking group where there's only one agent in it isn't as beneficial for you. Let's connect with that agent, great, but no one else in the group may be impactful for you. However, if it's a real estate group with, a title company rep, lender, an inspector, and a realtor, and all these other people, that could be great contacts to help you as well. Or maybe you have the opportunity to sponsor a happy hour or an event, or you get invited to one to attend. So those are items where if there's going to be a lot of agents there, a lot of agents that you can connect with and introduce yourself to, then I think that's actually a pretty high quality lead generation activity. Because once people see you in person, it just makes the sell a little easier, right? You get to introduce yourself, they'll get a personal impression of you. There's clients I work with for years and they've never met me face to face. So I do think it does make a big impact in a role that is so remote to have the opportunity to meet people in person. I've always had a good experience as long as I focus on agent-centric events or real estate industry-centric events and opportunities, and so that's what I would encourage you to do as well. So this is the fourth type of lead to go after, is anyone you can meet in an in-person networking event marketing opportunity. This will help you expand your marketing plan as well. So outside of, just reaching out to people you could also reach out to them if they have any events coming up. And that's another good connection as well. So definitely recommend implementing this in your plan somewhere. I know it can be a little hesitant. You're like, I just want to work at home, but maybe set a small goal like to attend 1 or 2 events a month, or maybe some more at the beginning of your business. So it really can be impactful to meet these kinds of leads. Just make sure you're picking the right opportunity. Okay, and the last and fifth type of lead to go after in your transaction coordinator business is going to be online leads. Online leads can consist of people that come and find you on your social media that didn't know you previously or personally. It could be people that are coming to your website directly, and it could also be people who are responding to any paid ads if you're running those. So I'm gonna kind of loop all those people into one category of online leads. And the reason I put this at number 5 is because these people don't know you yet, right? Maybe they've been impressed with your social media content or your website when you popped up, or they saw your paid ad and found whatever you offered valuable and came to you. That is a good intro. These are not cold people we don't know that we're reaching out to. These are people who still have reached out to us and are intrigued by our, content we're putting out online. So it's not 100% a cold lead, but these people don't know us personally. They haven't met us in person, and they might not even know anyone who's recommended them to us. So the reason this is number 5 and one of the lower quality leads is because these people don't know us. They don't have anyone to vouch for us. They don't have any personal experience with us. And so it's going to be a little bit of a harder sell. Now, not to say you can't do it successfully, not to say sometimes it isn't easy, but I would make sure with these leads that you have a plan in place to follow up with them. Because after an initial phone call or an initial email, you may not get a response directly. So maybe making sure we have an email campaign or some tasks set to follow up and give some regular calls and stuff to just help nurture this lead a little more. Because they don't know you personally, they may not be as eager to get started and immediately pull the trigger, so they might just need a little bit more nurturing. This does not mean this is a type of lead you should avoid pursuing, otherwise I wouldn't have included this in this list, but these are my top 5, and for number 5, these do sometimes require a little more work. Plus, you do have to put the work in up front, as you do with any of these, to reach out to people, to create social media posts, interact with people on social media, have a website if you do, and then also potentially pay for paid advertisements. So there's a little bit more work that goes into these types of leads, plus it might be a little bit more work to actually turn them into a client. However, I think all of these types of leads are important and great to go after in your marketing plan and overall marketing structure. However, if this video seemed overwhelming for you with all 5, I would recommend you start at the top, maybe do 1 and 2, and then pick, 1 of 3, 4, and 5, or you could do 1 through 3. If you've been doing 1 and 2 and 3 maybe, and going after those type of leads and you're looking for more, then maybe start looking into number 4 and 5. So these are my 5 types of leads to go after. My advice as a transaction coordinator. I hope you found this video helpful and there is a new lead type you're gonna go after or pursue. I wish you all the luck in marketing and growing your business. Any questions you have about lead generation, maybe even other types of leads, how I would nurture each of these particular leads, leave me a comment below. I am happy to make another video. I also always answer the questions in my comments. So any questions, leave a comment below. Thank you so much for watching.